This is a demonstration of some new mass properties management, new UI pieces here for NX1926 and some new functionality here. So first thing off, inside the assembly navigator, first of all, turning this on, the new mass properties management stuff is under a toggle here that's under the analysis menu. So show mass properties panel will show that panel, the new mass properties panel inside the assembly navigator, right? And we'll do some things with that. But even with that off, we've got the new ability to show some new columns in the assembly navigator here. Popular request from customers here was to be able to display in particular center of mass out there. So there were some different ways people wanted to see this. So we've included the center of mass as a triple here. So you can see XYZ coordinates. This of course is in the coordinates of the displayed part here. And so you can display all of those if you want to. There are also some applications where people wanted to just view one particular component of that. Doing a particular type of weight and balance, for instance, being very concerned about the X coordinate, but the others are okay, right? Being able to drive that particular coordinate to where they wanted it to be. So that's that. All four of those are available in there, and you can turn those on and off at will. Those, of course, will follow the usual updates and mass status and so forth, just along with the mass here. Another new one is the ability. Let's go ahead and turn on the panels for this one. We'll need our options menu to get into this guy. This next one here is pretty cool, and this one is displaying center of mass symbols out in the graphics area here for things like the selected component. If there are a set of components that are all combined, selected together, we'll do a combined CG for those. That one, the green one here, is really the equivalent of what we're displaying in the panel down below, right? As we select any or everything in the assembly navigator. Of course, as you may know from NX1899, we'll show the combined mass properties down below. This green center of mass symbol will represent that set down below. We can also do it for have a persistent one for the displayed part, just out there all the time. A red one that'll be for whatever's the displayed part at the moment. Similarly, for individual ones for selected components. For instance, if we've got a group of components selected, we may see a green one for the combined group and a blue one for each of the selected components, or turn on a gray one for all components persistently, right, and see a bunch of those at once. So I'm going to do this with a little subassembly, a little easier to see. We're going to work on getting this to burn through a little better as well. Right now it can get hidden in the geometry a bit, so I'm intentionally choosing an assembly here where I've got some space in the middle to demonstrate it right now. But this is where we're headed with this, right? So for instance here, if I select this entire assembly, I get a selected combined CG or center of mass for all of the things that are selected there, right? That'll disappear briefly while we rotate, but then pop back as soon as we come back. And this again is based on the center of mass here for the combined selection of 35 components in this case. So if I come in here, for instance, and come grab, say, that set of 4 right there, right? Or even deselect a couple of those, right? You see that center of mass move now to represent the combination of 2 or that combination of 3, for instance, in that way, which is pretty neat. Similarly, if we come in, turn on the option, say, for those selected components as well, right? We can combine these together. Actually, turn on the displayed part too if we want to here. So the red one again will be persistent. That one will stay there all the time, right, for this displayed part. If we come in and select one of these components, you see we'll get actually a green one and a blue one here, but the green one will win because that's the selection. If we select 2 of these, we'll get an individual component one at each of those, and a combined one of the green one, and the assembly one at the top, right? Which is pretty interesting. And then if we really get ambitious, we can turn on all these guys. That'll turn on all components out there. We get a gray one out there now for everybody, right? So we get in this kind of a state where we can see where the mass is out there in the assembly. We're going to fix this display just a little bit here, so those are a little more persistent. We can see where the mass is out in the assembly. We've had some specific requests for some mass distribution be able to see where those are out across a fairly large assembly without component geometry visible, which is kind of an interesting concept there. So that's a new one here. All these center of mass markers, we can display those individually or again, based on the options in here, right? Combine selection for all selected components, or the displayed part or all components. This will be the default, right? Just show the center of mass marker for the selected components combined. So with that, let's see the next thing. Let's go back to the main assembly here. Little thing inside the components dialog, the options dialog here. There are a few more settings. This is one of them, those center of mass symbols. These two were here before. There's a work part settings in here that's going to be useful in particular for legacy parts, right? If you've got legacy parts where you've used a reference set other than the default model reference set in there, and you've specified that extra one, we'll inherit that. We'll bring that in, we'll display that extra reference set here, and we'll automatically set this override so that it's choosing your other one that you've maybe used historically to do that. There's certainly some companies with our legacy mass properties tools, the advanced assembly weight management tools, that have had a body reference set, for instance, or a mass or weight reference set specifically they've used for weight management. So we'll inherit that, display that here at your leisure. If you want to, you can choose to turn that off and use the model reference set stuff that's the default now, or any of the settings from NX1899 as well. Okay, but anyway, we're giving you nice control over that here in NX1926. Let's see, with that, let's do one last one here that's some visual reports relative to this. So with all of this weight management going on now, we've got a bunch of information, particularly around statuses, right, for all of these components out here. And we had some requests to see that visually as well. So if we come into visual reporting, there are some 3 new reports in here, right, that are this mass status. We'll look at that one here in just a second. There's a mass source type that looks at whether parts are using for instance, the from design CAD calculated geometry, CAD calculated properties, for instance, or whether they're using assertions coming in there. If you have user-defined assertions, it'll pick those up as well and display those too. So if you've created an as measured or an as manufactured, for instance, status in your assemblies, you can pick that up, see that here visually as well. This third one is an interesting one. This asserted and missing inertial properties. There's a state in, again, the legacy tool that you could get into fairly easily, where you would have mass properties on a body, for instance. If you went in and just asserted the mass, you could get into a state where you had an asserted mass, but then did not have inertial properties. They would all be 0 by default. And this is a state that would get in the way sometimes. Certain applications where you wanted those inertial properties, if you had one of these lurking in your assembly where you had an asserted mass but missing inertial properties, this was a thing that certain customers really wanted to be able to find quickly and rectify it. So we created that particular one. This assembly is pretty clean, so it's all good, and this is no for everything, so it's just green. But let's look at that mass status one. This one's kind of interesting in this assembly. If we run this visual report in here, we can see we've got a bunch of them that are okay. We've got that one de-emphasized right now. Asserted mass, there are several of these that are the asserted mass color out here that we can see. Outside mass limits, these are ones in here that are the red ones that have exceeded a limit that's been specified on their mass. So these are too heavy, is essentially what this is stating. And then these bottom ones, unreliable value, the yellow ones out here. Actually, the top level assembly is in that state too because of what's going on. But these other guys down here, these yellow ones, are ones where we've not calculated the mass properties for some of those specific ones out there yet. Right? They're out of date, for instance. So we don't know what their properties are. But anyway, nice visual look there at those statuses. We're able to see those and take some action on those very quickly. Okay.